Hello, and welcome to this second lecture on Old Testament models of leadership. If you're taking this course for credit from Berkeley College, you know that your required textbook is The Good Book on Leadership. It's right there over my shoulder. What a great read. If you haven't picked up a copy yet for your library, you should. Our focus is on chapters 2 through 5 this week. Through your reading, you'll be studying the likes of Abraham, Jacob, and Joseph. The authors portray them with specific leadership models or styles in these chapters. Abraham is identified by the authors as having an entrepreneurial style of leadership, Jacob as a pragmatic style, and Joseph as both a strategist and decision maker. You're in for some great reading. There's no doubt in my mind that this week's reading will inform you and encourage you in each one of these leadership styles and connect you in a deeper way with the Old Testament personalities associated with them. Enjoy. In the remaining video lectures that we will have over the next several weeks, I will be drilling down each week on one of the 5 main theories of leadership coming out of leadership research. This week's concept is servant leadership, a topic that has gained significant attention in leadership theory and particularly in recent years has become increasingly popular as an approach to leadership. Servant leadership is a leadership philosophy that emphasizes the leader's role as a servant to their followers, rather than a traditional authoritarian approach. It focuses on the well-being, development, and growth of team members with the goal of achieving organizational success through the empowerment and service to others. At its core, servant leadership is about putting others first. It's about leading with empathy, compassion, and a genuine desire to serve and support the needs of others. Servant leadership prioritizes the growth and development of team members, and they actively seek to understand and meet the needs of their team. This approach creates a culture of trust, collaboration, and empowerment, which fosters high levels of employee engagement, motivation, and loyalty. One of the key principles of servant leadership is the concept of leading by example. Servant leaders model the behavior they expect from their team members. They set high standards for themselves and demonstrate integrity, humility, and authenticity in their actions. They lead with empathy and actively listen to their team members' concerns and feedback. They show genuine care and concern for their well-being. This builds trust and establishes a strong foundation for effective leadership. Another important aspect of servant leadership is the emphasis on developing and empowering team members. Servant leaders are committed to helping their team members grow, both personally and professionally. They provide opportunities for learning, mentorship, and skill development. They encourage creativity, innovation, and risk-taking, and they empower their team members to make decisions and take ownership of their work. Again, this creates a sense of ownership and accountability among team members, which leads to increased motivation, engagement, and job satisfaction. Servant leaders also focus on building a collaborative and inclusive culture. They foster open communication, encourage diverse perspectives, and value the contributions of all team members. They create an environment where team members feel safe to express their ideas and opinions, and where everyone's voice are heard and respected. This promotes creativity, innovation, and problem solving, as well as a sense of belonging and inclusion among team members. In addition to serving their team members, servant leaders also prioritize the needs of the wider community and society as a whole. They have a sense of social responsibility and actively contribute to the well-being of their communities through corporate social responsibility initiatives, sustainability efforts, and ethical business practices. They recognize that organizations are not isolated identities, but rather integral parts of a larger ecosystem, and they strive to make a positive impact on the world. So, what are the benefits of servant leadership in an organization? Again, we turn to research. Research has shown that organizations led by servant leaders tend to have a higher employee rate of satisfaction, engagement, and retention rates. Servant leaders also promote a positive organizational culture with increased trust and collaboration and innovation. Research shows it leads to better team performance as team members feel empowered, motivated, and supported to achieve their full potential. It all occurs because a servant leader is in charge. Servant leaders also has a positive impact on the bottom line as it fosters customer loyalty, enhances organizational reputation, and drives long-term sustainable success for the corporation or the organization. So what are some ways we can practice servant leadership in our own leadership role? Here are some key things to keep in mind. Put others first. Prioritize the needs and well-being of your team members above your own. Lead by example. Model the behavior you expect from your team members and demonstrate integrity, humility, and authenticity. Develop and empower others. Provide opportunities for learning, growth, and ownership among your team members. Foster collaboration and inclusiveness. Create an environment where all team members feel valued and heard, where they feel like they're a part of something and look forward to coming to work because they are valued and have a voice. In the Old Testament, Moses is perhaps the most well-known example of servant leadership. You will read more about him in next week's required reading from the Good Book on Leadership. The authors will accentuate Moses' leadership styles as charismatic and administrative, which I wholeheartedly agree. Moses was that and also much more. But he also led through service. He was a servant at heart. He served as a prophet, a judge, and a mentor between God and the Israelites during their journey from slavery into Egypt to the Promised Land. Throughout his leadership, Moses demonstrated a willingness to put the needs of his people above his own, interceding on their behalf before God and working tirelessly to guide and to protect them. Moses' servant leadership is exemplified in several instances throughout the Old Testament, such as when he pleaded with God to spare the Israelites from punishment after they had made the golden calf, or when he fasted and prayed for 40 days and nights on Mount Sinai to receive the Ten Commandments from God on behalf of his people. He also provided guidance and instruction to the people and listened to their complaints and concerns with patience and understanding. Moses' servant leadership is particularly notable for its consistency and longevity, as he led the Israelites for over 40 years through challenging and oftentimes difficult circumstances. You too will have some key leadership theories and models that will be unique to you, but all of us can have a place in our heart and our skill set for servant leadership.